Yo, what's up guys? It's Sungod here and I will teach you how to absolutely stomp 100% of your games. This is a straight to the point, no BS guide, and this applies to every single elo from Iron to Challenger. Let's get immediately into it. For starters, it's important to have a champion pool of at least 3 champions or more to adapt to any game possible. Preferably, you'd want to pick a champion that is able to solo carry games by itself. I'll put a tier list of the best solo carry champions on the screen. This tier list will be for the patch 14.13. Pause if you'd like to look at the tier list for a longer time. Make sure to pick a champion that fits in your team comp versus the enemy team comp. You wouldn't want to pick Tryndamere into 5 Malphites, would you? Think of the synergies and think of this one champion that would allow you to 1 versus 9 a game and get you a lead in order to actually carry it. You're playing solo queue, and thus far you want to rely on your teammates as little as possible. Think of this one champion that would not only make the early game a breeze, but also the one champion that would allow you to snowball into the mid to late game. Now the important part, let's understand how to get a lead for yourself and carry the game with your champion picked. You have to consider all the following factors: your jungle matchup and jungle tracking, unconditionally and conditionally gankable lanes, pathing that allows you to get early kills, and finally map awareness. There's quite a lot, but let's go through them one by one. Your jungle matchup will determine how you will play the map, which pathing you'll take, and most importantly, the amount of pressure you'll be able to put on the enemy jungle. In this example, I'll showcase how I track the enemy jungle and punish the map based off of that. So in this example, I am playing against Nidalee and I spot her on the minimap. So I don't want to just stand there and do nothing with this information. I know that Nidalee is topside, so I want to make a play happen somewhere else on the minimap. So you can see that I'm pathing towards her raptors, but instead I also look at the minimap. So I see that Blitzcrank is hooking my Jinx, and I know that Janna will most likely die if I don't head there. So that's why I will go bot side and take the more rewarding play, which is killing the Draven. I put my W between the Draven and the turret and just get the freest kill of all time. Thank you very much for that. Identifying which lanes are gankable is extremely important, as this will allow you to get a lot more kills if you're aware of certain factors, such as summoner spells. What abilities do enemy laners have that would allow them to escape the gank? Rune interaction that could avoid the gank or make you have a harder time ganking them. For instance, if you're considering ganking a Vladimir, in most cases it would be impossible to do so. However, if his flash and ghost are down, only his phase rush and W pull are left to deal with, which makes the lane gankable. Pathing is arguably one of the most important aspects of jungle, as it allows you to get an early lead in order to get your snowball going. The important part of pathing is to path with the intention of having a plan to begin with. You need to ask yourself, do I win the 1v1 against enemy jungler early on? If yes, we can path aggressively after doing 1 camp, 2 camps, or even 3 depending on where the enemy jungler started, or even invading enemy jungler straight from the bat if we have a strong level 1 team comp or champion. Do I want to gank a lane early on? In this example, I will show you how my early pathing allowed me to get the lead straight from the bat, which I would not be able to get if I didn't path aggressively. Consider all aspects and make a proactive decision. This will really boost your snowball potential, as it allows you to have freedom on the map, and early kills will boost your tempo by a lot. Okay, so in this example, I see the Graves that is invading my red straight from level 1, and that's completely okay because I can go for his red. But watch how I react to the map based off of Graves actually invading me. So here, I just want to take my red and I want to put a control ward. I was able to afford a control ward because I got the first blood. I put my control ward to see if Graves is just gonna take his red back and then go onto his red. I take the red and then I immediately leave. So the reason as to why I'm leaving here is because Draven and Blitzcrank are actually pushing, meaning that Graves didn't actually back and is looking to the red, into Raptors, into Krugs. So here I ping my Zed to put some vision on the Raptors. He didn't do so, but I'm basically assuming that he is doing my Raptors into Krugs, and after Krugs he would go for a dive, and this is essentially what he is doing here. He was successful at killing the Lulu and he wants to also kill the Jinx. It's a 3 versus 1. There's no reason as to why they don't go for the dive, but you can see that I'm not just clearing Graves' jungle. I'm actually responding to Graves' play and I want to punish him for it. So here I dodge Draven E and Blitzcrank Q and I go for the Graves, get the kill, but because they're very low HP, Jinx is able to get both of the kills. Now, arguably the hardest part to master, but a very important part of jungle that needs to be mastered, which is obviously how to be more efficient in the jungle. Now I'm asking you, the viewer, what is the most important resource as a jungler? Is it objectives? Is it gold? XP? It's neither of those. The most important resource for junglers is time. The more time you save, the faster you'll be on the map. The more time you'll be given available to make plays happen, to farm other camps, to punish the enemy jungler, to help your laners, the faster you can gank a lane and even do an objective. Time is the ultimate resource for the jungle. In order to be more efficient, there are multiple ways to reach that. When you're farming your camps, look to kite as much as possible to the next camp. Use your auto attack resets with your abilities the best possible way. And I will compare a low elo clear with a high elo one, so you can get an idea on the difference between the two and also the time saved based on the two clears. So I put side by side 2 Karthus players, 2 Karthus clears. On the right is me and on the left is an Emerald Karthus player, and you will notice that I will kite the camps a lot more, whereas the Emerald Karthus will just delay his camps and not be as efficient, which result in a time loss. And the time loss is approximately 10 to 20 seconds, which is obviously a lot, especially considering it's the early game. Okay, you got a lead, you're fed, so what now? How do we close out games based on the champion that I have? This is where you have to sit back and think about the game objectively. You have to ask yourself the right questions, such as, based on the champions that I'm playing, how do I, despite being fed, what is my role in the game? If I can team fight, how do I approach the team fight? Who should be the focus based on the item's bot? If you can answer those questions correctly, the macro decisions you'll make will be as clear as day, and you'll have a clear image in mind on what to do throughout the rest of the game. Now it's just a matter of sticking to the plan and executing it. And that's it for this guide, guys. If you would like to follow my grind from unranked to challenger on the super server, make sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in getting coached by me, just check out my Discord server in the description down below. Take care and get that sweet LP, guys.